and welcome to realestate360show.com.
That's right.
This is Steve Connolly, hashtag unemployable, and
I am Jason O. Miles. That's O. Miles, not O apostrophe Miles.
okay.
Hashtag the real estate trainer. You know, a lot of people make that mistake. It's O. Miles, O'Leary, O'Reilly. It's just Jason O. Miles. You know I do that, don't you?
Yes, I do know why.
Most
Why don't
people
you
don't.
tell everyone?
So my middle name is Oliver, or as my mother likes to call me, Ollie. It's an old reference.
Oh, yes.
An old reference. But there is a gentleman out there who makes music, and his name is also Jason Miles. So in the beginning of his career, the whole online profile thing was starting to go, and he was just going by Jason Miles, and I was just going by Jason Miles, and people were getting us confused. People that were wanting to buy music were coming to me, and people that wanted to learn about real estate and business were going to him.
Well, that seems like an opportunity for you.
It was an opportunity for both of us, actually. I picked up the guitar as fast as possible and realized I'm no good at it.
I'm thinking about being, the Jason O. Miles affiliate for Jason Miles and getting a little piece of his action.
Exactly. So he started using, another last name. Well, Jason Miles, and then another hyphenated last name. And then I just put in my middle initial so that we could create that separation. I did speak with him, and we did get a good giggle out of it because we both wanted to know, this is when MySpace was really, doing the thing. That's how far back this goes.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
What you just said is a great segue into what we're speaking about today, which is opportunities are everywhere. Oh,
absolutely. Most people don't even see them.
Yeah. And what I've seen in the real estate cycle business here is, it goes up and it goes down, and sometimes it stays about the same. We've seen it go up, and we've seen it kind of come down over the last year. And so that leaves opportunities because people get squeezed in those situations. And so instead of now necessarily going out looking for people who've had their houses forever, now we can go solve some different problems, which are people who have gotten in, they bought right last year. Maybe they got in and started doing some renovation, and maybe they ran out of money or something went wrong.
Yep.
And there's an opportunity there.
Yep. And we've had those opportunities come across us on a regular basis.
Yeah.
We kind of pick and choose which ones actually make sense for us, but they're out there. That's just one way. There are so many different opportunities, and it's really all a matter of understanding what your options are.
Yeah.
Most people don't understand their options because they may be new, they've learned one thing, or they're learning that one thing and all the the intricacies of that one thing, because there's no one way to wholesale, right? There's no one way to fix and flip. It just isn't. So how you structure your deals is all about understanding the circumstances of the person that you're in front of, that you're potentially going to buy this piece of property from.
And it's understanding the resources that are available. And really I think it's a lot about imagination.
Yeah.
When people run out, when they stop, they've just run out of imagination because all the resources are there.
That's for sure.
If they run out of money, go find some money.
Because it's out there.
Yeah.
You do. A lot of people don't realize this. So let me just throw this out there for a second. As of last year, actually technically as of 2018, every year there are mandatory distributions for people that have money in retirement accounts. Those distributions in 2018 and for the next 20 some odd years from there.
Baby boomers.
That's right.
Yeah.
So from 2018, we're looking at somewhere to the tune of about $2 to $3 trillion entering the market, most of which sits on the sideline because people don't know what to do with it. Now they have to take it out, otherwise they take a hit, a penalty.
Right.
Right. So they have to take this disbursement, and now they have to decide what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So you've got all this money sitting out there. People don't know what to do because these are generally just your working class people, right? They don't know what to do. Do they pay off their mortgage? Do they reinvest it? If they do reinvest it, how do they reinvest it? Does it go into the stock market? Well, if you're 60 anything years old and you've got, I don't know, let's just say $500,000 on the table on disbursements that you had to take out, you probably don't believe in the market right now.
Probably not, although you should. Depending on what,
The real estate market, it's up and it's down. There's a lot going on.
Oh, the real estate market.
Because that's where it's come out of.
Yes.
So they don't know what to do. Do they pay off debt? And if they do pay off debt, how do they live later? Do they do a reverse mortgage if they pay off their mortgage?
Right.
What do we do? So that right there is a great opportunity for you to go in there and say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Let me show you how this works. Do you know anyone that may be interested in something like this?
Yeah.
Because, hey, if you can give someone an 8 or a 10% annual return and they're used to getting 4, 3.
Yeah. And it's secured with real estate?
Absolutely.
What's wrong with that?
That's right. So, but you have to know that opportunity is out there, and then you have to know how to attack it. And you don't go to one person and hope that they can open you up to a $2 trillion industry, right? You have to put yourself out there and allow people to know what it is you're doing and be consistent with that.
The challenge from people who are promoting that, like us, is there's decades of pre-programming that people have.
Yeah.
They're pre-programmed into 401ks and mutual funds and the stock market and the quote-unquote traditional investing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you step back and look at that, the brokers and the regulators and the stock market, they're all together in cahoots, if you will,
mm-hmm.
to push everyone into that particular mindset of investing.
That's right.
And, mutual funds, you have absolutely nothing if it goes to zero.
That's right.
There's no security there. There's no equity there. There's nothing.
That's right.
Stocks are the same thing. I've invested in stock markets, stocks that went to zero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, the companies went out of business totally. And guess what? I didn't get a part of the assets of that company. I was a common stockholder.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
Yeah. And a lot of people just don't know that. They're just going out there. They're doing what is recommended to them.
Exactly.
And those things are recommended and spoken about now. In high school. Even back in the day when the 401k didn't exist, when it was just, get a job for a company, work there 30 years and get your pension, right? Yeah. And then the 401k came along in the 70s, became very, very popular in the 80s. And people said, of course, companies were like, whoa, we don't have to pay all these pensions anymore. We've got this thing over here. And oh, by the way, if we contribute to it, we get huge, huge tax advantage.
Exactly.
So it really wasn't a tool for you, the consumer, the employee, to really get ahead, because you have to rely, because you don't know the stock market. You have to rely on the fund managers that the company hires.
Of course.
Who are also charging money. So you might have a 6% return, which I just had this conversation with someone a few days ago.
Yeah.
My 401k's done 6% on average over the last 5 years. Well, I can't get that anywhere else. I said, yeah, 6% overall, but how much did it cost to manage that? You're looking at what it made, but there is a cost there too. When it's all said and done, you've probably done somewhere around 3.5%, maybe 4% a year, maybe. It's going to cost you that, and it's going to cost you money to get that out.
And then you've got inflation to consider,
which is nothing. If you're considering in 2019, inflation is what, 2.7?
Yeah,
2.7%. For those people that have money sitting in CDs and bank accounts in money market accounts that are giving them less than 1% a year, it's actually costing you money.
Absolutely. And the 401s that net you 3.5 to 4%, you're really even.
Yeah.
You're breaking even.
Right, basically. 0.3% is great if you've got $1 billion sitting there.
Yeah. But let's do that.
But people don't know. And it takes time for them to find out. It takes them being willing to get out there and understand what some of these options are and start to learn them. We can go on and on about financial products that help people out. There's life insurance products that help people out, especially if they're self-employed and they own businesses, that they can become their own bank, basically, over time by overfunding some of these policies. But that is a process in and of itself. but it's infinitely better than putting your money, your cash reserves, that is, in a savings account or a CD or anything of that nature. But for what we do in real estate, those kinds of things, insurance instruments, are great for us, for anybody that has their own business. But it's a matter of knowing what those are and how to utilize them and who to speak to about setting those things up for you.
Even rolling some of that excess cash into a self-directed IRA.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Can benefit greatly, and then put that into some real estate.
And grow it tax-free.
If nothing else, be a lender, be a private equity lender.
That's right. Which is one of the reasons that we are starting that group this year, the High Net Worth Group.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To create opportunities or to show people with high net worths the opportunities that are there that they may or may not be aware of.
Exactly. Education about what's available, because if you don't know, then guess what? You don't know.
That's right. Well, let's take a break, Steve, and come back and talk about some other opportunities.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español. Llámanos. Call us today.
Hello and welcome back. Real Estate 360.
We are back.
We're talking about unseen opportunities.
Absolutely.
And, but, it's not really unseen. You see them everywhere, right?
Yeah, but only if you're Neo or Morpheus.
That's right.
Right? You've got to be able to see.
You got to read
through the curtain. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, it's about recognizing the opportunities, because you see them all over the place.
Yeah.
And you say, and people drive by and say, "Well, I remember when you could buy a house in this neighborhood, for $50,000. You can't touch it now for $450."
Yeah.
But those are the same people who would not buy that house when it was 50 because the neighborhood looked so bad.
Exactly. And now they're regretting it. They're kind of kicking themselves.
But that they wouldn't have even if they were there, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at what's going on right now in the zip code of 30318.
18. Yes.
Here is an area of town where no one really wanted to touch. Even after they announced that there was going to be this new $1 billion dome, which ultimately wound up being $1.5 billion.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
Even after that. But the architects of that particular project knew for sure this is an area that we want to, it may not take off for us in the next 5 or 10 years, but it'll take off for our estate after that. So they picked it up. Boom, 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 boom.
A couple of different investors there. You've got, like, you're talking about estate and long-term people.
Absolutely.
And then there's a bunch of other folks that are just, okay, I need to buy something and sell it right now.
Right.
To make some cash.
That's right.
And
they just weren't there. And now that's changing. Yeah. But excuse me, an opportunity there for those that know what their options are to go into these areas and say, hey, listen, I would like to buy the first right of refusal or the option to buy your property when you're ready to sell it. That can be an open-ended time. It can be it could be 5 years, 10 years, or just I get the first right of refusal.
Yes.
And then you file that.
Absolutely.
And you say, look, this $500 is yours or $1,000 is yours. I get the first right of refusal, meaning, if you pass away, I'm the one that gets to buy it. If you decide that you want to sell, I'm the one that gets to buy it. And you can put all kind of stipulations in there. You can put price stipulations, but market kind of dictates that. It really doesn't matter. I mean, if the market pushed it up, well, if you're going off market value and the market pushed it up above, let's say, 100,000, and you said, up to 70,000, you're kind of pushed out, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's based on the market, right? Yeah. The point I'm trying to make here is how you word it is how you word it. But using this as a viable option to put yourself into a market that you may not be ready to actually spend a bunch of money on right now.
Sure.
But you go in there once a month or once a quarter and do a $500 or $1,000 option on a property that could double in value over the course of the next 5 to 7 years.
Well, what you're really talking about is the ability to recognize opportunity and having the resources and the knowledge of all the options that are available.
Absolutely.
And one of those options just happens to be an option.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So
what are the odds?
I know. but it's about education. It's about how do you know what to do?
Right.
And it's about what's in front of us right at this moment.
That's right. And people are just aren't looking at that. I mean, we've been out here for a couple of years.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah. And we have developed relationships over the years. We've got agents, we've got brokers, we've got attorneys, we've got other investors and wholesalers and just whatever that'll say, hey, listen, I've got a problem. Can you help me fix it? Or I know someone who has a problem and I can't help them. Would you look at it? Maybe there's an opportunity there for you. And those things just start to come. Obviously, we market for those kinds of opportunities as well.
Yes.
But we also get the best kind of business you can possibly get, and that's referral business.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Are you working into a segue into the one that just came across your desk over the weekend?
We did, and it was a quick one.
I know.
Right? This was a super, super quick deal.
Yeah.
I get a telephone call on Sunday night. I was watching a movie with my son. He'd never seen Coming to America. I wanted him to know where that saying comes from. What is that, velvet? He never knew where it came from. I said, okay, well, you got to watch the movie, so we're going to watch it. Right? So we're watching the movie, and I get a call from this agent. And she says, hey, listen, I have a friend whose son bought a property a year and a half ago and has no idea what he's doing, and it's going into foreclosure on Tuesday.
Yeah, so this is Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of illustrating the time frame for everyone here.
Sunday night.
Yeah. And so then after Sunday, usually there's a Monday. And then after Monday, there's Tuesday. And Tuesday's the day that it's going to be sold.
That's right.
At the courthouse steps.
That's right.
Gone.
Out of there.
All right. So you got 36 hours to work with, roughly.
So our Monday was, kind of busy.
Yeah,
right?
It was. Yeah, well, you said, hey, I got this. Can you go down and look at it, in the morning? Yeah. I said, yeah.
Because I needed to be at another closing we had.
Yeah.
That I had to be at,
So I got my pedal car, and I pedaled down there and met a contractor. We went through it. We're not the work that was done was nice.
Right.
Nicely done. Great location. And needed a few changes, but
minor stuff, though.
Very minor.
Minor stuff. And, how did this guy? So I met this guy Monday afternoon at 3 p.m.
Okay. The guy. Let's define the guy.
Owner. The owner of said property.
Okay.
Right? First words, first handshake, first eyes on.
Yeah.
At the realtor's office. I had to come from the north side of the city all the way down to the south side of the city to make this. I was supposed to be there at 2, but some garbage truck rolled over. It was,
oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but I got there. Now I'm talking to the guy about how did this happen? I mean, how did you get here? What kind of money do you have in this? What are you expecting out of the deal? All these questions come up, but it turns out that this is his very first deal ever. He's started off as a truck driver, and now he has 3 trucks that he has on the road, and he was making this money. And for him, the money needed to go into real estate, so he decided to do a fix and flip with absolutely no knowledge, none whatsoever.
Can I say a little bit about that? A lot of people think they want to do fix and flips.
HGTV has a tremendous pull on people.
I'm telling you, and I've got a lender that a couple of our private lenders, they say, I want to do a fix and flip. And I keep saying, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you, I don't think you're ready for this. You don't know how good you have it right now.
Right.
You put your money in. You don't even go to a closing. You just wire your money in. The attorneys represent you, fill out the paperwork. You get 8, 10, 12, 15% interest on your money. Mm-hmm. And you go live your life. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Now, with a fix and flip, you're talking about a full-time job.
That's right.
And issues that come up, you got to go to closings, you got insurance, taxes, theft, fire insurance, maybe fires. Who knows?
Yeah. Which has happened.
Oh, I've had 2 or 3 properties burned to the ground.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it happens. You know, after a certain amount of time, you're going to experience everything.
That's right. If you're in it, you're going to experience it.
Yes, sir.
And this guy, his first time out, you know, just experienced some of the worst. You know, he got a property from a wholesaler who just so happened to be an agent as well. It was a pocket listing.
Okay, yeah.
Them. So not so much a wholesaler as an agent that just had a pocket listing, but was marketing it as a wholesaler would.
Of course.
And obviously this realtor knew nothing about construction whatsoever and went into this property and did their evaluation and determined that it was going to be about $100,000 to renovate it. Now, keep in mind, this property is across the street from arguably one of the most prestigious golf courses in the world. Well, I think it is one of the most prestigious golf courses in the world.
Has it gotten that far up?
I mean, it's up there. It's East Lake Golf Course.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's literally right across the street.
Yeah, I guess I still have those images, you know, back
The
in
old days,
late
yeah.
1998,
Yeah.
you know, shootouts in East Lake.
Yeah, that was real. That was real. Now you have East Lake Golf Course.
Yes, it is good.
It is something else.
I know Tiger's been there.
On more than one occasion. I mean, the Masters there, I think, a time or two. I don't know.
No, it wasn't it can't be the Masters.
Well,
the Masters is in Augusta.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So it was a U.S., you know.
Something
open,
prestigious.
yeah.
They do that once or twice a year. Very prestigious things happen there.
Yes, sir.
In the golf arena or whatever field, course, golf course.
Golf course.
Hit the
arena.
links.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So it's literally right across the street, and houses over there go for a good amount of money.
Yeah.
So $100,000 to take a dump. I mean, a property. But,
I want to do an edit.
Yeah, $100,000 to take this property that's in just absolutely deplorable condition and bring it up to the standards in which it would need to be to sell are the $100,000 was totally unrealistic.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit more about that after the break. Yeah.
Do you need to sell your house? Well, our company will buy your house. We make the process very fast, very easy, and it's all cash. All you have to do is give us a call today.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833willbuy.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
And it is the Real Estate 360 show.
That's
and we're
right.
Back.
We are back.
Mr. Miles.
Yes, Mr. Conley.
You were talking about this particular property and the opportunities. And the last thing I remember was that the value of the renovation was just ridiculously low this dump.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know, so the guy gets this hard money loan. He buys the property for $220,000 with $100,000 set aside to do the renovation. He puts down $50,000 to get into the deal.
Okay. Gets
into the deal with his contractor, only to find out that the entire left side of the house, if you look at the house in thirds, right? There's the right side, the center, and the left side. It's structured that way. The left side had to totally be rebuilt.
You know, when I was down there, I saw that. I thought that was just a new addition, but that's not a new addition.
Well, it technically is.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was thinking a whole new footprint and everything.
No, it was put together. All of it was every piece of it was put together with 2x4s.
Oh no!
Literally the floor, everything. Everything.
That doesn't work.
It was put together with 2x4s. So it had to be rebuilt. That was $35,000 he did not intend on spending. And by the time he got to, starting to frame the rest of it and clean it up, put the windows in, of that $100,000, he only spent, that was in escrow, he only spent about 22-ish of it.
Oh.
And all the rest came out of his pocket, and the lender wouldn't give him any more money, and he didn't run out of cash.
Because he had not done the things on the escrow sheet
Correct.
that would need to be reimbursed
Correct.
by the lender.
Correct.
So the lender's just protecting their investment, if you will, their
Correct.
money in the property.
That's right.
Because it's based on an after repaired value.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get to that value, the property has to be renovated up to standards so that it would appraise for that. And in order for that to happen, those repairs have to be done up front before the lender reimburses the investor.
That's right.
So
And
that's another reason why, you say, are you sure you want to be a renovator?
that's right. And just like so many new investors, this gentleman, he believed the same thing. He thought that the lender was just going to stroke him a check
Right.
to get this stuff done up front. And yes, there are lenders that will do that, but they are few and far between. And generally, those are relationship based lending criteria.
And if they're not, they're only going to be doing that for a short amount of time.
Just to get some business.
Well,
just to get some applications in the door.
That's
and then
right.
they're going to switch up their lending criteria.
Yeah.
But he believed that because like so many new investors, they get this education or they watch stuff on television or on YouTube and they subscribe to an ideology where, this is the guru. Oh, you're going to go get a hard money loan and they're going to teach you, they're going to give you the money that you need to fix this property up. They don't go into the details about how that actually works. It's a pay it forward, system. You pay to get the work done, and then they reimburse you if that work is done to code and signed off on by not only the city inspector, but the lending inspector.
Yes.
Which you also have to pay for, and they don't tell you.
That's right.
That's anywhere between $150 and $200 every time they come out.
Inspection fee.
That's right.
Yes.
But he was totally
have to pay
unaware.
for that up front too. Usually,
Well, sometimes it depends on the lender. Sometimes they'll just pull that right out of your draw.
Yeah,
they'll pull it right out of the budget, or so they'll say, "All right, you put in for $7,000. We're going to give you $7,000, but we're going to take $200 for that draw inspection out of that $7,000. So you're going to receive a wire for $6,800. Oh, and by the way, it costs $30 to send the wire. We're going to also take that off of there.
Right.
So you're paying for everything, and you're just unaware of it. And for people that are pinching pennies to get this deal done,
it hurts.
it does.
I've got a lender that they have a credit card on file for me, so I call for a draw. They hit my credit card, $150.
Yeah.
And then they send the inspector out, and then they wire the funds, and then there's a $30 charge for that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I've seen it where they put, okay, you're going to need 6 draws, and at $150 or $200 a piece, they put it right on the HUD,
And you pay up
and
front.
you pay that up front.
Yep.
And so, yeah, if I was a lender, that's what I would do. You know?
Yeah. It's just money in the bank.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, we can go on and on about how these lenders make money, but
So go ahead with the story here.
all right. So anyway, he was telling me about how he got into trouble, and he's very calm about all of this. I mean, he's very calm, understanding now that we need to have a resolution to this thing before tomorrow morning,
Right.
before the next morning, because it's going to foreclosure the next morning.
Usually, what, about 10 o'clock in the morning?
Well, it depends. I mean, you'll have some attorneys that are out there crying at 8:30. It's not supposed to start till 9.
Yeah.
But you'll have some that show up early and start crying early. And, that can really put you out there. But just because it cries doesn't mean it's going to go through, depending on what you do. And with what this gentleman owed, it was not going to sell on the steps. I mean, we can look at that and know.
Yeah.
In this particular case, there's $500,000. It's a $500,000 community, $480,000 to $500,000.
Right.
When you look at what his payoff is and what they're going to add on to there and what still needed to be done to the property to get it there, most investors are going to still look at that 65 to 70% LTV. If they're being aggressive, which they're not going to be, and say it's going to be 500, they're going to be somewhere in the 475, 460. They're going to want to be conservative is the point I'm trying to make.
So at 70%, they want to be all in at like 330.
Yeah, like all in. And this was going to be a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, when I looked at the deal, I said, okay, it's going to be, there's a reinstatement fee of approximately $17,000. The payoff from the bank was right around $280,000, but we knew that there was approximately, he thought there was approximately $60,000 in the draw. So I get the lender on the phone because I don't have time wait for them to send anything. So we get the lender on the phone, and I'm asking her a million questions. And she was like, well, who are you, sir? And I said, well, I'm someone that's trying to help, Mr. Jones get out of this problem here. He's a friend of mine, and he's asked me to loan him some money, and I need to know how I'm going to get paid back. Right. Because you don't want to say, look, we're going to do a loan takeover. Right. Because they don't want to hear that. And so at any rate, we get down to the nitty gritty of it, find out that there's $77,500 still in the jar. Our budget on it came up to $80,000. Right. We just saved, even though the payoff went up $10,000, we just went down for what we have to come out, $17,500 from what we have to come out of pocket. So where we thought we were going to have to come out at $20,000, we only have to come out $7,500 now.
Wow.
Well,
that's a deal.
Yeah, it worked out in our favor. Yeah. Big time worked out in our favor in terms of what it's going to cost to renovate it, out of pocket to renovate.
Sure. But now we still have to put up a certain amount of cash to get our contractor started.
Absolutely. Plus the reinstatement fee.
Yeah.
Plus legal.
Right.
So plus payments.
That's probably $40,000, $50,000 right there.
Yeah, so we're looking at 17, but at least another 20. That's 37, 340. Yeah, it's 40 plus payments, right around, for what we expect it to be, a little over $50,000. 52.6 is the number that I came up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
52.6.
Well,
so,
I just got here on this one, so I'm just adding in my head.
Yeah. But once we came up to an agreement, this guy wanted $50,000. He said, I got, roughly $60,000 in the deal. I want to get at least 50 back so I can do. I said, look, I did all the numbers. I said, this is the amount of money after everyone is paid, talking about making payments, paying the agent, seller contributions to closing for what's typical in that area. Boom, boom, boom. All the reinstatement, this, that, and the other, us getting all of our money back. Yeah. This is the number that's left.
Okay.
And I said, we would not do this deal. No one would do this deal.
That's right.
So, and I told him, you're going to lose money. Now, do you lose all of your money? Or do you lose most of your money and get an education? That's what it boils down to here. Because you're going to be required to help us go through this process. You're going to be required to learn how it actually goes along the way. Because, he wanted to learn.
Right.
So I was leaning on the fact that we're educators. And we're educators specifically in the place that he's going to lose a ton of money. And when you look at it from what people are spending at the guru conventions that come in and out of town, the beautiful circuses, right? With all the bells and whistles and the
that's
wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm-flailing tube man stuff.
That's a great analogy, though, really.
Yeah.
Because, you've been in that, and we've all seen that where they charge $15,000 to $80,000 or $90,000, for education. Right. So this guy's getting a bargain.
He is. He's actually going to save 20% off the top end of an education program.
Yeah. But now I know the back end.
He's paid it forward.
Yeah.
He's paid for the whole $50,000, $60,000 program, and he gets a 10% return on his investment when this deal closes. And he has all the information, knowledge, processes, paperwork to move forward and go into his next deal.
Exactly. And so, and he has the experience that you will not get while you're sitting in a chair.
That's right.
In a hotel room.
That's right.
That ain't going to happen.
That's exactly right. So we did the deal.
Is he getting 10% of the net or what?
He's going to get 10% of the net on that.
Okay.
Which, who knows what that's actually going to be.
Okay.
It could be $10,000. It could be $5,000.
It's probably closer to the $5,000 or $6,000 probably.
Absolutely. But you never know. Market conditions are changing right now.
They are.
We're on an uptick. So you just never know how those things are going to play out. But us doing our numbers conservatively, we do about $60,000 on that deal.
Yes, sir.
Very conservatively.
We need to be conservative.
You have to be conservative. Yeah. If you do better than that, then you're winning. But if you're not being conservative, so more often than not, most of these investors, as we see pretty much every day, they're counting their money before the closing even occurs. They're buying cars, taking vacations before they get the check. They're making reservations.
You know what? Let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Hi, this is Sammy with Sammy Hadid Real Estate Keller Williams. Are you looking for a top producing agent who will look out for your best interests? Top dollar on the sale of your home, a well-negotiated contract, an efficient closing? Please call me at 305-978-4249. I'm more than happy to set up a consultation. I'll put together a proposal for you to net top dollar for your home, what it is that I'm doing to get all my homes sold. Then you can decide what's best for you. Again, I'll do whatever it takes to get your home sold for top dollar, and I promise you that I will protect your equity with my life. 305-978-4249. Sammy Hadid, Hadid.
And we're back. Real Estate 360. Hey, what's up? Oh my God. We don't have a script for this show,
That's
so
right, that's
whatever
right.
comes out, comes out. So, but we were just talking during the break that it would be a good idea to kind of run through this again because there's just literally a ton of information.
Absolutely.
That you just delivered.
Yes.
And maybe a quick recap because I actually, I had a question or two afterwards during the break just so that I could make sure that there was one other issue. Mm-hmm. But anyway, just run it through again.
So, in short, we'll go kind of briefly on this, but, I got a telephone call from an agent that we had done work with before that said, hey, I have someone who has a situation. I think you guys may be able to help them out. Mm-hmm. Here's what it is. Set up an appointment to meet with the gentleman. Normally, we don't do them this fast, but, normally we have at least 72 hours to actually work.
No, a couple of weeks usually, or a couple of months sometimes.
This is a fast one.
Yeah.
But, it's a matter of asking a million questions and getting the information you need. You have to know what the financial picture of this particular property looks like. Not the person that has the problem, but the property, because that's what you're going to determine. That's what's going to determine whether you do the deal or not.
Right.
What are the numbers on this particular project? What is the actual payoff? How much is it going to cost to stay in this loan? How much money is there for the renovations moving forward? How much is it going to cost to get the renovation done?
Exactly. How much? What's the real number?
Yeah, what's the real number? Yeah. What can we sell this house for realistically? What does it need to be for us to get the number we want? Can we make that happen? You have to answer all those questions in a relatively short period of time. In this case, it took me about 2.5 hours to work all the way through that. But that's with everyone answering the phone, too.
Yes.
Right? Thank God that the lender was, answering the telephone.
That is amazing because when you said you got the lender on the phone, I'm thinking, wow.
Yeah.
They must be right. Are they local or are they
no, they were in Texas, but they're responsive. Having said that, they're doing what they can to try to stop the foreclosure too. They want that money that
they want that reinstatement.
They want that reinstatement money.
Yeah.
So they
want that as a performing loan.
Absolutely.
Not a non-performing loan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they, whatever department it's going into, this is the pre-foreclosure department, right? Yes. So someone's there and they're probably pretty busy, but they were answering the phone and really, as that's a blessing.
Absolutely.
Especially with literally 2.5 hours to make a decision. So they answered the phone. They were willing to give the information. We were able to make a decision within that 2.5 hour window. But again, you have to get all of the information for the property first. How much is owed on it? What's the actual payoff? What is it going to cost to really get the work done? How much is there in escrow for the renovation? How much is it going to cost you to keep this loan going every month? How long will the extension be?
Yes.
How much is it going to cost to get another extension? All of these things must be asked.
Let's talk
understood.
about the extension for a little bit, just so people understand what that is. So he's gone beyond the long term, or
far beyond.
Far beyond.
Far beyond.
So when the term is up, then the loan is due in full. So there's a balloon payment due.
Yes.
So he owed $280,000.
Correct.
So then he was supposed to just pay it off.
Correct.
If he doesn't pay it off, then they can foreclose it or the lender might be nice and extend the loan, and they usually charge a fee.
That's right. In this case, it's 1% for 45 days.
Okay.
And there are
That's
other lenders.
expensive.
That's very expensive because most lenders are going to charge you 1% for a 90-day or even a 6-month term.
Right.
But he's already three extensions past where he needed when he was initially supposed to sell it.
Yeah.
So this would be the fourth one. So them saying, okay, we're willing to give you another 125 days, 135 days.
Okay.
It's 135 days. So basically 3 extensions,
Right.
3 more extensions. But every 45 days is 1 point.
That's insane.
Now, it's only on the actual principal balance, not the fee balance.
Oh, goody.
Because the fee balance is $70,000.
Yeah.
The principal balance is $210,000.
Now, what happens when we draw down that the construction? When you say fee balance, do you mean the construction escrow money?
No, the principal balance is acquisition and renovation. Right. So he's only $210,000 into that. $70,000 of his $280,000 is all fees.
What?
Yeah. Which was negotiated down $34,500.
Okay.
It was $310,000 when I started.
Fees, banking fees?
Yeah. Extension fees, just all these processing fees, just fee after fee after fee after fee.
Holy moly.
Absolutely horrific.
That sounds like predatory lending.
This guy, he wasn't making any payments. They rolled a bunch of the stuff into the loan. He just got so far financially extended, he just couldn't see his way through and had no one to really guide him through that process. Having said that, he really wasn't spending a lot of time looking either.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, when you go through money troubles, along with that, life happens, right? So for him, life was happening.
Yes.
All at once. And he didn't know which way to go. For him, it was, I need to get back on the road. I need to work. I need to drive my trucks. I need to put these other 2 trucks on the road. That's what it was for him. That was that's his safe place. But running away from the problems that aren't going anywhere,
No.
He knew that he needed to face them. And he waited for a very long time to do so, but ultimately did. And unlike most people, found a solution.
Those problems are definitely going somewhere. I mean, he would have had no problems, Tuesday.
No.
Because it would be gone.
Yeah.
It would have been foreclosed on and it would have been done.
Yeah. And hard money lenders will do different things. I mean, sometimes when they foreclose, they just leave you alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they foreclose, there's a mark on you, on your personal credit. Sometimes there's a mark on your company.
Right.
And in his case, it was on his company and his personal.
Whoa.
It would have been.
Would have been.
And he did not start a separate company for his real estate business, so it was all under his trucking company.
Oh, my gosh.
Bad decision.
Yes. Very bad.
Very bad decision.
But it was renovations, they're easy.
Yeah. They are when you're watching HGTV and A&E and DIY.
Jump in there, fix it up. I'd love to fix up properties. I hear people say that a lot. And what they actually say is, I like to decorate. I like to put, furniture in and new carpet and
pick out paint colors.
That's right. It's a totally different thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to get when you take down a wall. You never know what you're going to find. In this guy's case, when they came out and inspected it, they should have seen that, because when you go into the basement, you can see everything above you.
Yes.
You can see that you would have been able to see that these were 2x4s, that this house was, the floor joists were 2x4s.
Yeah.
It was, and you can see it because you have a basement.
I will say that his contractor did a nice job.
Yes.
What he did was nice. We're going to make some structural, not structural, but more decoration changes. Really,
make it more functional. Open
up some some areas and some walls and stuff.
Yeah. But ultimately, for us, here's a deal where we leverage, $1 to roughly bring back $2.
Exactly.
In a 90 to 120 day period. Yeah. I think that any of us would love to double our money in, a quarter.
Yeah.
Even if we doubled our money in a year.
Let me just say a little bit about that, because it's not like an investment where you put your money in and you get another dollar back. There's a lot of time, effort, and energy that goes into this. So it's not just an investment that gives you a return and an ROI. This is like an investment with money and time, energy, expertise.
Yes, absolutely. Because
resources like crazy.
That's right. I mean, we actually have to pick up the phone and call people.
Yeah.
And tell them to go there. And on occasion, we're actually going to have to drive over there.
Exactly. More than one.
Right.
And we need to know who to call. How many contractors have we been through so we get
to where we are?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we were that guy. On a couple of deals last year.
All jokes aside, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because it can go left super, super quick if you don't have your ducks in a row. It can go left. So I say that to say, if you're new at this and you want to do this, make sure you seek great counsel.
Yeah, man.
Talk to people that do it. Understand. Ask them to walk through the property with you. Take a contractor. Spend the $50 or $75 that someone's going to charge you to do a good job if you don't know what to look for, because it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth a meal to make sure you're not going to spend, $100,000.
Look,
or lose 100.
You and I have been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time, and I love to take certain people with me because I look at certain things. They just see stuff that I don't even see.
That's for sure.
That
is what it is. But listen. If you want to hear more of what we have to say, and you enjoy what we have to say, we want to thank you. We want you to go to our podcast, realestate360.com, realestate360show.com.
Thank you.
We want you to go there and check out our podcast. Go to iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube. Real Estate 360 is what that is. Go to realestate360show.com and see what else we have to offer. Look at events that we have coming up. Go through the podcast. Listen to what we have to say. Tell us what you think. Engage with us. We want to know. We want to know what you want to know. We want to know what you want to hear, and go from there.
Go to the show, the realestate360show.com, and you'll find our seminars right there. That's the best way to really get to know us.
That's it.
You have to come to the seminars. You can't just look at the homepage. You register for the seminar, you pay the $20, and you come on out.
Other than that, you're just going to have to catch us in the streets.
That's right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Signing off, realestate360show.com.